Alrighty guys, what is going up? Welcome back to the best investing money management channel on YouTube. In today's video, we are going to be talking about really the top blockchain stocks and or ETFs. Now, the reason why I personally love blockchain is because it's not centralized. It's decentralized, right? And there's a lot of incentives and a lot of growth behind it. We all know Bitcoin has really proven over the past couple of years that it's an absolute powerhouse, and why not invest in companies that are either investing in Bitcoin itself or have that blockchain technology? So for me, it's a no-brainer to at least dabble in with a couple of them. I got my coffee, I'm ready to rock and roll, but the very first one is obviously the one and only Square. We talked about this one in the past, and you guys can see Square is an absolute powerhouse. Beautiful growth. It is a little more on the volatility side, just because you guys can see the overall up and down that we've seen from Square, but it still has that beautiful upward trend. Really has a tendency to use this yellow line, which is the 200 moving average line, as some overall support. So you guys can see behind it, good opportunities are when it's either hitting that support line or undervalued on the RSI. So for me, Square is an absolute no-brainer. They're heavily invested in Bitcoin itself, and Square owns the Cash App. And the Cash App is it's an exchange that you guys can buy Bitcoin, and they make a ton of money off it. So for me, it's just another one that's just an absolute what? It's an absolute no-brainer. So the second one here is probably one of my most, probably the best stock. It's Visa. Visa in general is fantastic because they are now adapting to the cryptocurrency lifestyle. They have a ton of credit cards, debit cards that are Bitcoin incentivized, and you can now actually use Bitcoin to buy things. So the year-to-date return on this is it's about 5.6%. It's not as strong as we've seen it in the past, but it's an absolute powerhouse nonetheless. The reason why I personally am buying this one right now is because of this. This stock really has a tendency to hit this 250 mark and sell off. Okay, so now that sell off of about that's a sell off of about 10%. Okay, that has honestly brought massive amounts of opportunity to buy this thing on a massive discount. It's like buying this stock, a couple months ago, if not more towards the beginning of the year, and it still has an absolute powerhouse, right? This one in general, you guys can see the year return, the 3-year return is fantastic, right? We'll actually draw it out so you guys can see it. 3-year return is just about 59%, which is pretty strong. And the only downside of Visa right now is the past couple of weeks we've seen quite a bit of sell-off from it. But sell-off just brings opportunity. So now the next one here is AMD. Now AMD in general, they have a beautiful upward trend in general, right? They've proven over the past couple of years that they're not going anywhere anytime soon. Their CEO is fantastic, and not to mention, guys, AMD, they're one, invested in Bitcoin, which is awesome. Two, the overall growth of AMD is kind of followed by Bitcoin. The reason why I say that is because in order to actually mine Bitcoin and get it yourself without actually buying it off the exchange, what you do is you have to have computers that solve very complex equations. And AMD makes computer parts, graphics cards, stuff along those lines. And over the past couple of years, they've been an absolute powerhouse. And AMD is one of the strongest performers of actually miners out there. Okay, not to mention the next one here that we're going to be talking about is probably one of the more popular one, we've talked about in the past. It's RIOT. Now you guys can see this is going to be more of one that carries a lot of volatility. We'll actually go ahead and draw out the 4 or 5 year chart. The reason why I say that is because I want to show you guys something. Okay, you guys can see this little indent in the past. This was the 2017 massive bull market, right? We saw it squeeze up, sell off, consolidate down to about 51 cents. And then it came all the way up to almost $80. So for me, what do I think when I see that? I think of more of one that is a volatile investment, just because it does go up and down at pretty rapid rates. It's not a consecutive growth like the S&P 500 or Visa or a company along those lines. it's more of one that carries volatility. Volatility is good, but it's also scary because it's most of the time a higher risk, higher reward. And if you're not smart with it, you can lose a lot of money really, really fast. So for me, RIOT definitely does carry a lot of blockchain technology, but it also carries a lot of risk in general. All right, guys. So really, these were the top Bitcoin and blockchain investments, top 3. I highly recommend investing in them. And a fantastic strategy that I use and I plan on using for the rest of this year for a lot of these blockchain companies is dollar cost averaging. The reason why I say that is because it's very hard to pick and choose times that it's overvalued, undervalued. What you do is you just invest $10 a week, okay? What that does is it gets a good average price. So whether this thing's going up, you're making money. Whether it goes down, you just average into your position. It's a fantastic strategy and I highly recommend it. And I'll make a video separate on really the total process of it. But I hope you guys enjoyed it in general. We'll see you guys later. Don't forget to check out my course and check out my merch. I just dropped a whole bunch of merch. We will see you guys later. Remember to stay happy, stay positive, and stay safe out there. Take care.